Okay, it's yet another edition of Mike Finds Things, where I go out and find records. This time we're not doing a particular record lot or estate sale finds or thrift store finds. What we are doing is I've got a box here that I put records. It's the Northern Soul box. So it's not full. I'm guessing there's probably about between 75 and 100 records in here. This is where I usually put the records where they're a little bit more obscure. There's some hits in there too, but more obscure or Northern Soul stuff. Sometimes it's a hit on one side, then there's like a Northern Soul B-side. I have other Northern Soul that's like more of like your hits that I filed just into general 60s stuff. For like the bigger hits, the stuff you hear a lot or you see a lot. But I have been promising all the Northern Soul viewers that I would do a video on this. Of course, we found that cool Turley Richards 45. That's not in here. And I believe I may have filed some of the records I found in some of my earlier videos already in this box, but some of the later Northern Soul I found I have not gotten around to file in this box yet. So it's pretty much going to be stuff that has not been in any of my other videos in this video. So let's get started and you'll see what I got. And if I didn't look up values on these, again, I did probably when I got them, but I wasn't selling them. A lot of them I did take notes to write them on the sleeves. This one's a Northern Soul B-side. This one is the Reflections now. Their biggest hit, I believe, was Romeo and Juliet. So Poor Man's Son is actually the A-side on this one. And what happens a lot on Northern records is the B-side is the one people really want. So Coming at You, the B-side, you can see this one's absolutely in beautiful condition. That's actually the one people want on this record because that one's got the Northern Soul side, the one that gets the dance floor packing. So we got that. We're gonna move on to the next one here. This one's a 1970 Northern Soul. This one's Fred Hughes with I Understand. And unfortunately, it does have a scratch, but it must play because I wouldn't have put it in there if it didn't. But it does have one scratch on it. Other than that, it's in really nice condition. And it's hard to see the label because it's so faded, but it is I Understand by Fred Hughes, a 1970 Northern Soul classic. Like I said, some of these have real good value, some of these are not particularly valuable. Etta James from 1961, 7 Day Fool on Argo. So I'll have that. B-side is It's Too Soon to Know. So we have our Etta James. That one has more of like a dancey beat to it. So I usually, if it has like a dancey beat, I'll throw it in here. If it's this one, I did put a price on this one. I must have done this one in a video. This one says it sells between 2 and 8. From 1965. Everybody knows this one. Len Barry, 1, 2, 3. Very famous song. It comes up a lot, but this one's in such exceptional condition. That's probably why I threw it in the box. That's one I think most people know. This one's got a double A side. Now everybody knows Bernadette by the Four Tops. The B side is the Northern Soul Stomper. I Got a Feeling. So that one gets the dance floor packing. But of course Bernadette is probably the better known song. But that one I consider a double A record from 1967 on Motown. We're going into the Grassroots. This is one everybody knows as well from 69. I'd Wait a Million Years by the Grassroots. Very common record, but it's got a great dance beat to it. So probably one of the better Grassroots records, especially if you're going to be dancing. I'm actually happy I'm able to shoot outside today because I prefer the lighting outside when I can shoot on the porch. I know some people like the background when I've got the jukeboxes behind me, but I don't have real studio lighting, so I have to actually set up I set up an old work lamp on a speaker stanchion is how I shoot those. This one's pretty rare. Okay, when I write rare on the sleeve, that usually means it's worth a few bucks. It's worth probably 10, 20 or more. I'm Gonna Cry, Wilson Pickett on Atlantic. That one's in exceptional condition. These probably, I'm guessing this one, this one I know exactly where I got it. 20 some odd years ago, I bought out a bunch of records from a guy who did jukeboxes back in the day. And I'm about 100%, about 99.9% sure that came out of that one. For a lot of jukebox guys got sent these records as promos to try them out, and there's a lot of them got a lot of Northern Soul stuff that maybe didn't hit or whatnot. This one is the B-side's Northern on this one, and you know the A-side. It's Diana Ross and Supremes. Someday We'll Be Together, but He's My Sonny Boy is the more dancey song on the B-side, so that's why that's in that box. Like I said, sometimes you got to check those B-sides on those Motown records, because sometimes they put some killer songs as B-sides. This one is 67 Northern Soul, Love Power by the Sand Pebbles on Calla, and then Because of Love is the B-side. That one I'm guessing came from the jukebox guy. I'm guessing, because judging by the condition, that was probably part of that jukebox collection. This one is Some Kind of Magic, Jerry Butler from 1966. I think it's not particularly rare. It's not a Jerry Butler you see that often, but that was a Northern Soul. And then Just Because, we got another copy of Love Power by the Sand Pebbles. That's the second one. So that wound up in that box. Okay, so I'm 100% sure where I got this one at. This is another one where the A-side was a hit. It's the Artistics with I'm Gonna Miss You, which is kind of like a slow jam. A lot of people know. But the B-side is Hope We Have, which is a Northern Soul dance number. And this one that's got this heart tongue. I got a bunch from this guy's collection. I bought out a bunch of 45s from some guy on Craigslist. It was an old guy. This guy is in his 80s. And he had a bunch from this guy's collection. From what I could tell, he lived in the Detroit area. So he had some Northern Soul. He had a lot of Detroit garage rock records. And so that came from that collection. And that guy's supposed to be pulling out more records for me to look at some point. But I bought this one probably about 6 months ago, that collection. So that's kind of a neat find. And this is another one from the same collection because it's got the same stamp on it. This wasn't the guy I got it from, but he had a bunch from this guy's collection. This is a 1966 Northern Soul, The Poppies with Lullaby of Love. Unfortunately, this guy did stamp his name on a lot of records. But there's a lot of great Detroit garage in there as well, and I wonder why is the B-side. So that one I probably had about 6 months. But I can always tell because they're stamped. That guy stamped all his records. This was a 66. Another Ledenberry. This one's It's a Crying Shame with Somewhere on the other side on this Ledenberry. Of course, Ledenberry is very popular on the northern scene. And we got 1965. We've got another Ledenberry, Like a Baby with Happiness. That one's nice. So, don't drop it. And then we got another 65. I wrote Northern Soul and Rock. So, this was one. This one everybody knows. This is the New Beats Run Baby Run, but it's got a great dance beat to it. If you know this song, on Hickory. That one's pretty common, but again, it's got a great dance beat to it, and it could be considered rock or soul just because of the beat. This one is Martha and the Vandellas. Now, the A side is Honey Child, but the B side is Show Me the Way. Let me pull it out so you can see it. Show Me the Way is more of a dancey tune. Again, another Motown record. Where you got to check those B-sides because sometimes the B-sides have a cool dance beat to it. But there's the A-side, Honey Child. That's the one everybody knows. What else we got here? We got a Rick Tick. You know, okay, if you know Northern Soul, you know exactly who this is. Edwin Starr, Agent 00 Soul on Rick Tick. And, of course, the B-side, unfortunately, has just like a huge gouge, but that's the instrumental side. That's how I got it. And this one was actually a demo. So if you look, there's actually the demonstration copy, not for sale, that someone tried to peel off, unfortunately. I believe that came out of that same collection, or the other ones where the guy stamped his name. I'm trying to remember. I do have some Rick Tick Edwin stars that came out of the jukebox collection too. I think I've got one with like Backstreet and yeah, on that one somewhere. This one is another Northern Soul B-side on Motown, where you all know the A-side. A-side's Reflections, Diana Ross and the Supremes, obviously a massive hit. And the B-side is Going Down for the Third Time, which is a little bit of a dirty title there, if you ask me, but that one is more of a dancey song. Like I said, you got to check these B-sides on these Motowns. Especially in the 60s, because a lot of times Berry Gordy didn't make the call properly. There's another Northern Soul from 1966. This is one everybody knows. I'm Ready for Love, Martha and the Vandellas, but it's beautiful. Like I said, there are hits in here. He Doesn't Love Her Anymore is the B-side, but this one's the A-side. The I'm Ready for Love's got a good dance. Obviously, it's a massive Motown hit. I actually did see Martha and the Vandellas in Vegas once, but it was like probably about 15, 20 years ago. Here's one. There's a plug side Atlantic record promo in the sleeve, and this one is Archie Bell and the Drells. Don't Let the Music Slip Away on a promo, and on the B side it's Houston, Texas. Archie Bell. That's actually where Archie Bell and the Drells are from, because they keep shouting it in all their songs. Don't Let the Music Slip Away. Of course, everybody knows Tighten Up. That's probably their biggest hit. Here's one. This one is 1967. This one's Jerry-O, and it's Karate Boogaloo. I believe this was a local LA record, if I remember right when I looked it up. I looked this up months ago. And I think this came out of the jukebox stuff, too. And the Pearl on the other side. On Shout Records. So it says New York City on the for the label, but I think he was from LA, if I'm not. I could be mistaken. Don't quote me on that one, but we also got the B-side on this one. This one's a little scratchy. I wrote down. This one might have been played to death. What Becomes the Broken Hearted with Jimmy Ruffin. Of course, that's more of a slower song. But the B-side, Baby I've Got It, is your Northern Soul B-side on this Soul Records, which of course is Motown. So I said, a lot of Motown. You got to check those B-sides, man, especially on the 60s stuff, because sometimes that B-side's the killer. Here's one I wrote rare, so it's worth a few bucks. Label's not in that good a shape, but the record is. Just Walking My Shoes, Last Night on the Pips on the early Soul label. And I'm trying to remember where I got this one at, because this might have been out of the jukebox ones. The B-side is Stepping Closer to Your Heart on that early Soul label. That was from 1966. The other one from 71, we've got Smokey and the Miracles, I Don't Blame You at All on Tamla. And the B-side is That Girl. So let's see here. We got more Smokey and the Miracles, because we like our Smokey and the Miracles. On Tamla, this one's in really nice shape. Yester Love. And the B-side is Much Better Off. And my stepfather, or not my stepfather, what am I saying? My mother had a boyfriend she never married him. She almost did. Thank God she didn't. But she dated a guy years ago, and he was Smokey Robinson's agent, and I think he managed CCR. I mentioned him before. He managed CCR. Here's one that's famous. I got a billion copies of this. Band of Gold, Free to Pain. In fact, we found that Free to Pain album a few videos ago. B-side, The Easiest Way to Fall. But great soul tune. But like I said, and that jukebox collection, there must have been 25, 30 copies of Band of Gold. In fact, I've given some to my friends. Tony Lamar, this one's on Buddha from 1967. Just in the Nick of Time. And the B-side is It's Too Late. So this one's a little bit, it might need a good cleaning, actually. It looks like. That was a 67 Northern Soul. Going to 1970, we got, this is one everybody knows, Temptation Eyes by the Grassroots Once again, it's got like a dance beat to it, and then their B-side on that was Keeping Me Down. But still, Temptation Eyes, everybody knows that song. That was a big hit. This is another Northern Soul B-side on Motown, Four Tops. Of course, the A-side, Standing in the Shadows of Love. Everybody knows Standing in the Shadows of Love. But the B-side, Since You've Been Gone, is that's a Northern Soul dance tune. I said Motown. Check those B-sides. Come on. And here's one from Stevie Wonder. This one's a dancey one. This is also, it's a famous one. On Tamla Records, Nothing's Too Good for My Baby, Stevie Wonder. And the B-side's got a couple scratches on it, but it's With a Child's Heart. But of course the A-side. And this one has they put a sticker right here over the plug. So, over where they drilled it. But everybody knows Nothing's Too Good for My Baby by Stevie Wonder. That's a pretty well-known song. This one's another Motown with a B-side. Oh, this is the same one. Standing in the Shadows of Love again, with Since You've Been Gone. So I got another copy of that, but on a slightly different font from '66. Here's one. This one's got everybody knows this one, but it's pretty dancey. Opus 17 by the Four Seasons. And the B-side is Beggar's Paradise. But Opus 17 definitely has that nice stomping Northern Soul beat to it. And here's another one everybody knows. It's the Northern Soul popular song. We got Apple, Peaches, Pumpkin Pie, Jay and the Techniques. Stronger Than Dirt is the B-side, but I think most of you guys, if you know oldies, you know Apple, Peaches, Pumpkin Pie. That's an oldies radio staple. Another Len Barry. This one came out, this one would have been in one of the, I think of the early videos. This was that collection where the guy wrote his PK number little here on all of them. Len Barry, It's a Crying Shame on Decca. And somewhere's the B-side. So that one I know for a fact would have been one. Some of these would have been in some of my early videos, but some of you guys probably didn't watch it. This one comes up a lot. Everlasting Love, Robert Knight, but it's in nice condition. And of course, you know Everlasting Love, and Somebody's Baby's the B-side. But that's just some good examples where some common records are Northern Soul ones. The Wonder Who, Don't Think Twice. This was actually the Four Seasons. They did a record where they wanted people to buy it, try to figure out who the artist was, and it turned out to be the Four Seasons. So they did a version of Don't Think Twice, which was kind of like a novelty record, but it actually wound up having a really good dance beat to it. But it is actually the Four Seasons, but it sounds like it's sped up. If you've heard it, you know exactly what it is. Another Jay and the Techniques, Keep the Ball Rolling, but it's a dancey tune. Nothing spectacular there. I got another copy of Apple, Peaches, Pumpkin Pie. We're getting into, there's another 69, My Pledge of Love, the Joe Jeffrey Group. This came out of that collection I think we did a video on early on in the channel, which most of you probably haven't watched anyway. And Margie is the B-side. That's My Pledge of Love. It has little stars on it, so might have been, it doesn't say promo, but it could have been a promo. They put the little stars on there so people knew which side was the hit side. You know, it doesn't say promo on it. This one's Keith, which most of you know 98.6, but this one's Ain't Gonna Lie. Of course, you usually come across 98.6. And the B-side is It Started All Over Again. So unfortunately, nothing as rare as that one we found in the last video, but still some interesting stuff. Timmy Euro, I Ain't Gonna Cry No More. This came out of that same this one, so this one's actually been on the channel in an early video. And The Love of a Boy is the flip side of that one. So this one was a return. A lot of times you find Northern Soul records with the return with the hole punched in it, as they weren't particularly big hits at the time. Here's one that's a Mitch Ryder but the Northern Soul, it's got that Northern Soul beat to it. I think this is an early Mitch Ryder too. And it's got the hole punched in it. Breakout on New Voice Recordings. And the B-side is I Need Help. Don't we all? And the label, fortunately he did put a sticker there, because these blue labels like this, these are the ones that for some reason they wear out really easily. But it's in really nice condition. I'm afraid I've tried to take these stickers off of this label and it always messes up the label, so I'm not even going to touch it. But because these are kind of like painted onto the vinyl on these style record. If you've ever run across that style record, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Here's kind of a rare version. We had 1, 2, 3 by Lynn Barry, but here's the Leon Haywood version on Imperial. It's in the sleeve, so I didn't make any notes on it since I had the original sleeve. Leon Haywood 1, 2, 3 on a promo white label. And the B-side is Soul On. So I guess people really paying attention. We wrote $2. Oh, this is from the jukebox ones, because we started pricing these. We had no idea what we were doing way back when. And some of these, I found there's one record. I think we priced it like $1, and it turned out to be like worth like $300 when I looked. I never did take these to sell them. This guy helped me out. He said he knew what he was doing. It was a friend of mine. And some of the records we really like priced low. Thank God we never sold them. I have to figure out how to get that sticker off without. I think I'm gonna put that aside. I'm gonna try to get that sticker off later. This one is a slower surf with a ska beat. That's a soul record. Bill Deal and the Rondells was Swinging Tight. So it's surf and it's got a ska beat to it. And the other side, this is another one that came out of that collection from, and Nothing Succeeds Like Success. But from my notes, it's a slower surf music with a ska beat. So kind of mixing a lot of different genres there. Here's one that's a lowrider oldie on one side. On the B side, it's a Northern Soul. This one is from '66. I'll Make It Easy by the Incredibles. And this one came out of one of the record lots that I bought. And this looks like it might have had a hole punch too. No, it didn't. Crying Heart on the other side. I have a note that one side's like a lowrider oldie, and the Crying Heart side is the Northern Soul side. So sometimes you find them too, where one side is sort of like in one almost genre, and the other side is in another. I know the Incredibles are big on the Northern Soul scene. Here's a Jackie Ross 64. This is a pretty well-known song on Chess, but it's a Selfish one. And Everything But Love is the other side on that one. So we got that. That was the that one I believe came just from like another different record lot I bought during the pandemic, if I remember right. Here's one that's 1967. James and Bobby Purify, which most people know from I'm Your Puppet, especially on the lowrider oldie scene. Let Love Come Between Us. And the B-side is I Don't Want to Have to Wait. Since these are Bell Records. Like I said, there's nothing here as spectacular as that one I found in last week's video, but then again, that's going to be a tough one to... this one's from '66 on Impact Records. Oh, How Happy, Shades of Blue. It's pretty well known, but it's got a nice dance beat to it. And it's in nice condition. Somebody has a catalog sticker from a box. And a little Orphan Boy. These do come off pretty easily, usually, as long as the label's in good shape, but I don't know. It kind of helps me remember where I got them from too, because I'll know if I got it from a jukebox guy or whatnot. This is another one that's a Motown related with a Northern B-side. You've Been in Love Too Long by Martha and the Vandellas, and Love Makes Me Do Foolish Things, another Martha and the Vandellas. So You've Been in Love Too Long is the Northern Soul side on that one. According to my notes. Here's one. Wow, this one was in a don't know if this was really Northern Soul. I don't know how this wound up in here, but maybe it's good. It's got like a dance beat. Laugh Laugh by the Beau Brummels. Pretty well known song. It has a good beat to it, so yeah, maybe that's why I threw that in there. I just gotta put this box aside just in case, you know. I got a lot of friends that DJ Northern Soul. I do not, but I have a lot of friends that do, so that's probably why I just started putting this box aside. Here's one that's got a Northern Soul A side with a great B side. The Temptations with My Baby. This one's got a hole punch for a return or a promo or whatever, and Don't Look Back on this side. So that's another one I had. I just put my notes are Northern Soul A side, great B side. So play the both sides of those Motowns. You never know what you're going to find. From '66, it may be Winter Outside by Felice Taylor on Mustang Records. And then the other side is Winter Again. So hopefully we'll get through this video quickly. So I did not look up the values. If it says rare, I know when I looked it up it was worth a lot of money. Here's another one that's famous on Cala Records, but it's alright, J.J. Jackson. Of course, that was always a staple of like at least local oldies radio, and Boogaloo Baby on the other side by J.J. Jackson. That's pretty much it's a soul staple. Another copy of Run Baby Run by the New Beats. Heaven Must Have Sent You by the Elgins. That's pretty well known. With Stay in My Lonely Arms on the other side. So one that's pretty well known. I know for a fact there's at least one really rare one in here coming up. Another one by the Incredibles. This one's in the original sleeve too. Found Another Love. This one, I don't know where that one came from. That wasn't from the jukebox because it wouldn't have had the number 2 on there. And Heart and Soul on the other side on this Incredibles on Audio Arts. And we're getting down there. This one's the Platters. I Love You 1,000 Times. With Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil, See No Evil on the other side. So a lot of different groups did songs with Northern Soul beats on them. You know, stuff even people you wouldn't expect to back then. As a lot of people do know. Another Jerry Butler. What's the Use of Breaking Up? Jerry Butler. With A Brand New Me on the other side. Oh, here we go. I got yet another copy of 1, 2, 3 by Len Berry. So we're going to put that one there. This one is the OJs with, this one unfortunately he wrote all over the label. Lipstick Traces by the OJs. Unfortunately somebody wrote all over that label. And Think It Over Baby on the other side. Like I said, I think we know that's your record, dude. But unfortunately it's just been, that label's pretty well destroyed. And this one is Ray Godfrey with Sherry Washington. And then I Gotta Get Away is the other side on Spring Records. Here's one. You Brought the Joy, Free to Pain. And the other side is Suddenly It's Yesterday. So we got that. What You Gave Me by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell on the Tamla. And How You Gonna Make It is the B-side. I know we got a couple more rare ones like that are worth a few bucks. Mary Wells, I'm Learning on 20th Century Fox Records. And I think that was like her Northern Soul track, and then He's a Lover's the other side on that one. Another Motown. We got Something About, everybody knows this song. Something About You by the Four Tops. Great song. And Darlin', I Hum Our Song is the B-side, but the A-side's the one, is the track. In fact, you still hear that, you know, on like, there's that Soul Town on Sirius XM. They play that one quite a bit. All I Need by the Temptations, you know this song. And we got Sorry Is a Sorry Word is the other side. there's like a really rare one in here. I still haven't come across. There's one in my mind that I haven't come across yet. One Way Out is the B-side. That's Martha and the Vandellas. That's the Northern Soul tune. And Love Bug, Leave My Heart Alone is actually the A-side, but I believe this is the Northern Soul side by Martha and the Vandellas on Gordy, of course, the Motown label. We got, this one, all the Northern Soul guys know this one. Shirley Ellis with Soul Time on Columbia. And this is a killer tune. Waiting. That's a killer soul song by Shirley Ellis. Of course, best known in the U.S. for the name Game. It's probably the best known. Dottie Records from '69. This one is Somebody Please by Billy Keane. And on the other side, we got Losers Win Sometimes. This might have been early on before I was really taking a lot of notes on records, but I have to look some of these up again. We got this one's by Betty Everett, so you all know Betty Everett if you know soul. Better Tomorrow Than Today on Uni, and I Can't Say No to You is the other side, but this one, in my notes, this is the Northern Soul side. It's B-side. It's actually the other song was the A-side. This one I have noted as being rare. This is a D.D. Sharp on Cameo, I Really Love You. And this one came out of the jukebox stuff, I know that for a fact. And Standing in the Need of Love. I know for a fact that came out of the jukebox ones. Like I'd probably owned that record. I probably owned that record 20 years and found it. This is the one that was kind of rare. This one's in the hundreds. I know that for a fact. Be Good by the Soul Bandits. This is a local LA record. On what's the name of this? Groove Right Records. Soul Bandits, you know, the name like that, it's going to be good. And Save It is the other side. Now this one I know is in the hundreds for a fact. I remember when I looked it up because that came out of that jukebox stash. I think I paid like $100 or $150 for that whole stash 20 years ago when I bought a couple jukeboxes. And this one guy's like, oh yeah, the guy's like, my friend has a bunch of records that came from a jukebox guy. You might want them. So I wound up buying them all. And I think he'd already picked through all the rock and roll stuff. And this one was, I believe this band was, this is the same guy that did Judy in Disguise. John Fred and his Playboy band, Hey Hey Bunny. And that one's on Paula Records. And No Letter Today, of course, Judy in Disguise, which is, I think that one's kind of an obnoxious song of his. And this is like his better track, but it wasn't as big of a hit. But that was the one that was the bigger hit. Judy in Disguise was the bigger hit, but it wasn't a dance tune. That was kind of a neat find. So that's my Northern Soul box collection. That's not all my Northern Soul records. That's just the ones that were in the box. I got a lot of them I probably haven't filed. A lot of them I got these, I'm still kind of going through that jukebox lot from 20 years ago, and I'm always finding stuff every time I go through it again. So I'm still going through those. But let me know what you think of this collection. Sorry it wasn't any estate sale finds that were recent this time, but still there's a lot of neat stuff there, and I did promise that I would do this video for our Northern Soul guys. So let me know in the comments what you think, and until next time, I'll be seeing you.